And coming up next, we'll continue with the topic onboarding the next billion of gamers onto Web3. And let's explore more about Metaverse and Web3 platform with KryptoSeoul. So this is Web3 and Metaverse platform with strategic focus on content generation and social interaction for family. KryptoSeoul is a cutting-edge content-based social metaverse platform that offers users a dynamic and immersive game-like environment. So with the topic, Metaverse Elevate Your Social Life. Now, please welcome Jin Chung, Executive Director of Web3 Division from KryptoSeoul.
All right, good to see you guys here. Yeah, let me tell you a little fun story. Back in 2020, January, I was attending CES 2020. So I was at the airport in transit, trying to fly to Las Vegas. And I ran into this, the guy that I really wanted to meet and admire for a long time. His name was Gary Vaynerchuk, the founder of VaynerX. So multi-millionaire who started from the ground zero to build his own empire. And I knew that he was famous for giving advice to people who ran into him. So I approached him. He was sitting right in front of me. And I asked him, hey, Gary, so you built from nothing to millions. And I'm having this metaverse business of my own, trying to build a virtual museum and platform that will ignite creators to create their art in virtual format and showcase their talent and trade within the platform and giving the transparent transaction in terms of the art pieces that has been just bullied by galleries and famous auction houses that creators don't have a power upon it. But I was facing a lot of negativities because at the time I started too early. Back in 2017, this was the blockchain business that I started, and people didn't really understand. So when I was speaking to VCs, I had to explain about blockchain majority of time about my pitching session because they didn't understand. And I ended up speaking of my product for such only a few minutes. So I asked him, like, how do you face and overcome those negativities that people are asking to you about blockchain and product? And he said, yeah, I face negativity all the time, but I just move on. I keep moving forward. And if you believe in your vision, goals, and mission, then you go for it. That's how I built my business, according to Gary Vee. And I was like, okay. That was very interesting, but also very inspiring. So I went to CES. They were talking about the innovations, AR, VR, AI, and all those difference of converging technologies for innovation, in pursuit of innovation. And I flew back to LA for the partnership meetings and VC meetings, trying to get more funding for my business. And then COVID hit, so it's a very interesting moment. COVID hit, swept the US, so I had to change my schedule. I called my co-founder, hey, I'm flying back to Korea. So at that time, that was really the first time that I really felt afraid and feared that I'd not be able to make it home. But I actually did change my schedule. So here's a very funny moment that I'll never experience again. So I took an Uber to LAX, and at the time, the entire freeway, there was no single car. And the cloud was very dark, it was raining, just like the scenes in the Blade Runner, right? So I was riding on the back. I looked at the driver who was driving like this. He was also afraid that there's no cars. And I got into the airport. From the entrance to the gate, it took me 5 minutes to get there. And you will not ever experience the LAX employees are always harsh and they're maybe mean, but they were actually happy to see the human being walking into the airport. And I got escorted, even though I was not the president or a VIP. I was escorted all the way to the gate. They were happy to see the human being, actually. So that was the most bizarre business trip from LA to Las Vegas and back to Korea. So moral of this story is The Metaverse is all about the experience that we have to build and deliver to the audience or users coming on board. So you guys all remember Second Life back in 2006. And the very, very big moment for Metaverse in history of entire platform business is IBM was actually the first tech giant who gave the actual speech. So at that time, the Sam Palmisero, the IBM CEO, actually created his own avatar, dressed up like himself, and showed up the scene, giving the speech to entire 5,000 IBM people who worked for him. And that was an amazing moment. And even those employees didn't leave after his speech, they stayed there for a networking session on their own. So they gathered by group, talked about their experience. And at the time, this place was within the built Forbidden Palace, based on actually inspired by real Forbidden Palace back in China. So as you all remember that back in the days, the Metaverse was just like this. It was a group of polygons and formats and figures and shapes. And this was in '93. And after 30 years, we are seeing the actual fashion show and fashion week in the Metaverse. Proof of that is, as you know, the LVMH is the largest luxury goods group who makes Louis Vuitton and all the famous brands. And they actually hosted a Meta human-based avatar event who is walking actual runway, showcasing their entire brands and virtual goods that is mimicking the exact same product that you are seeing on the display. So within the 30 years, this happens. And for us, it took us about 16 to 17 months trying to realize and bring those realistic values to the Metaverse by building schools. Since we are targeting the younger generations, we want them to experience the same class and same teachers, same interaction with their fellow students, just like they are going to school in the real world. And also, it's really hard to own a house nowadays, right? So build your home, start with a land NFT, and you build from the ground up, but it's still your house, and it's your asset. And you can invite your friend and everyone else that you want to get along. So ironically, in the real life, things are more bleak and insecure than ever. But what Metaverse is doing at this point, even though it's struggling in entire industry-wise because of short DAUs and MAUs, but it's rather reconnecting the social values that people have lost throughout the COVID-19. Because it's a long road at the end of the tunnel after 2 years. People are still regaining the momentum they had before pre-COVID era, but now with this social activities that you are bringing on the virtual space, we are just trying to provide everything that they can do, what they couldn't do in the real world. So according to Neil Stevens, as you know, the father of Metaverse, the Metaverse term itself was coined by him into Snow Crash, the famous novel. He says, success of the Metaverse depends on the ability of developers to build quality experience that millions and billions want to have. And it can be diversified depending on the geolocation. But a lot of projects are trying to build that is mirroring the real world experience, and they are adding more values. For example, you are being the creator. So don't just focus on YouTube. YouTube, of course, set a fire of what it's like to earn as a creator. And that has been a great momentum since then. But nowadays, Web3 is focusing more on the decentralized value. And speaking of ownership, we are trying to be more transparent to all those users. So what's going to happen within the next 30 years? If Metaverse pursues what it's meant to be in terms of missions and goals and vision, then we are seeing all those converging values of all the way from 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s in 21st century. So you're seeing the VR, AR glass, not just on the kids, but elders as well. And you see the younger generation wearing the virtual clothes or real clothes that their parent generation has been wearing. And all those great converging values that will be shown up in the Metaverse. So I would say it's a cross-reality platform that's not just being on the immersive with the HCMD headset, but actually you are going back and forth. Within the next 30 years, you will be facing the real life values, but at the same time, you can also pursue your own, like, I would say, desirable life that you can pursue within the Metaverse platform. So future world, I would say societal changes will be impacted by how we are living and a lot of geographical issues that can be also impacting the Metaverse in the long run. So not just technical aspect, but I would say more societal change will be bigger game changer for Metaverse itself. So we went through the greatest inventions and just trying to give you more flashback on what we did with all those electric cities, right? So electric cities turned into Tesla and electric cars, right? And phones, I'm still longing this great phone that we used to have, but turned into smart devices that we all use, right? Regardless of the location. And on the old computers, I know that Vietnam probably have this amazing ancient machine that we have built, turned into a social network that we are all able to gather here, take a listen what we have to say, communicate with each other, and talk about all those things that we're enthusiastic about. And this was all something to just old days of being arcade. People gather up in the mall. When I used to live back in the US, this was just where everyone gathers and experience all those things. So we eat, we hang out, we watch movies, we play games. We just do all those entertainment things that they would offer. And I know that Metaverse will be mimicking the same thing because it's regathering the social value and social interactions that we have been losing for quite some time. And some societal shift is actually accelerating the adoption of a mass audience for blockchain, Web3, and the Metaverse because right now it used to be family household. But right now, within the last 40 years, it shrank down to a single household. Rise of single household means more time to interact within your own world and within your own network. Now you are taking the control. And this does not just happen in certain areas. It happens in global wise. So more single household we are seeing it, which means they are more accessible to mobile, any kind of interactive platform that we use. That's why it is impacting the ever-growing numbers of usage of social media, right? So that has been the key triggering effect for network evolution. We are going from Web 1, text, email, then through Web 2, we are facing the social media and other related games built on Steam. Console games are getting connected through the global play. As long as you're in the PlayStation or Xbox network, you can play anybody anywhere in the world. And now we are facing Web 3 with wallets for your storage of your digital asset. And also other things that you are facing decentralized transaction. You can send your asset just wallet to wallet without any, of course there's gas fees, but you don't have to pay for exchange rate and all those things like you're doing the fiat currency. And also it's going to be accelerated even more with the AI adoption and all those related technology that you will be getting in the long term. Just like Apple just announced about Apple Vision Pro. It's $3,000 worth, more than $3,000, but people will be buying it because they will have a different immersive experience going just way beyond the AR and VR. So future history at glance would be, I would say, we moved on from internet already, and we are seeing the new social network with a difference of connection point from all over the world. And now we are seeing the metaverse getting even more, broadening the interactions within the social areas that we all live in. And with the AI, now ChatGPT set the fire, one world, and now we are talking about generative AI that will impact us on delivering our value with the language, because they have done some amazing jobs with the natural language processing. And we are texting, and now we are using ChatGPT and generative AI to enhance our experience, getting better papers, better languages, better delivery of our content creation that we do. So that will enhance the experience of semantic web, because now on network, AI will be working with us and empowering our interaction with others. And within the next 20 years, if AI goes more advanced, then we'll see the entire intelligent system as a network that will be impacting our lives. We can just over voice that throwing out to. Everyone has Alexa at home. Then they can order, like, hey, turn in the air conditioning or turn off the TV. Put the baby music so that my daughter can go to sleep. Just like all those things can be just one single order. And IoTs, as I mentioned, more connections and more values, and people are getting more used to with all those connected devices. And if this was not happening, then we will not be as thrilled as much when we saw the Apple Vision Pro when it came out last week. So it's going to be growing into billions of usages, and number of devices also surpassed 24 billions, which means growing number of revenue will go way more than that. So all those things coming together as a result for rise of creator economy. I know that most of you are builders, founders, and expertise with your career within the Web3, or it doesn't really matter what industry you're in, but still you are getting a lot of momentums. And we all have creativity inside us. It doesn't take billions of dollars to start as a YouTube creator. You just can log in, create your account, and showcase your creative contents that you can create, and show off your talent and innovation. So it's already took off. And now we are seeing another booming of creative economy, because right now then you see so many builders, as you have seen with the Sky Mavis, started a community. You don't see gaming studio start as a community, but in Web3 it is possible. We saw so many cases. And there are already full-time creators are now surpassing millions. So overall in the world, this was a stat of last year, last summer. So it already surpassed 50 million creators. Most of are full-time. And now Vietnam is really spurting their growth in terms of numbers of creators, more than 250,000. And most of them are millennials and Gen Zers. And now we'll be welcoming Gen Alphas who are digital natives. So when they use, imagine they use AR glasses or Vision Pro, and they start to build those things, experience those things, then who knows what we will see within the next 5 to 10 years. So evolution of a creator economy is just convergence of all these different devices, computing powers, evolving network, just like we do with the blockchain, decentralized network, platforms that will offer you different wallets, way you control your own data through your device. We're trying to get there because there's a lot of regulatory issues that has to be come into senses, because now policymakers think differently, because this is a real business that they have to face as a policymaker, lawmakers. And just like YouTubers created an amazing number of jobs as a creator, and they monetize on it, and it's our turn as a Web3 founders or builders to provide now different levels of experience in terms of being a creator. At the time, they had to still hold accountable to the YouTube's restrictions, rules, and regulations, right? But within the Web3, we make our own rules and regulations and policies, because it depends on where you are building. But we already surpassed pioneering and technical eras. It's just way of choosing which platform to build on and make the best out of it. It's your choice now. So future would be, we'll be facing diversified monetization method, capitalizing your own contents with a difference of, you can try to test out which platform fits your lifestyle and which tool, like SDKs, to choose from. So if you are comfortable with a running network, then you can build upon it, like play to earn type of game. Or if you want to simply be a streamer or a creator that can build on something that is tangible as a virtual value, like virtual garment or virtual goods that looks just like a luxurious goods, then you can choose other platforms as well. But you can start there, and you can build your own community, and that sets the tone that you're actually seeing the buyers up front. And you're also getting connected to the partners who are also willing to team up with you or collaborate with you within those ecosystems itself. That's how the Web3 ecosystem is being built. And later on, if it has to go further, then yeah, we are seeing the metaverse just connecting all those things with the difference of technology. So, as YouTube has created more jobs, now metaverse has not gotten there yet, but as metaverse builders and trying to pursue is, we want to be a builder's platform, just like mainnets, but with a virtual reality aspects of it. And with a more technological advancement, we'll be able to create more jobs as well. Like real-time collaborators, you just find different people on the virtual space, and with a VR chat or a lot of identities will be displayed when you click it. Then, oh, that guy looks like a designer. I was planning to build my own fashion apparel brand. Let's team up. The real-time collaboration. Or expert finder. There will be agencies, just like ads agencies, or just like communities who are connecting both builders and communities who need each other. And there will be more jobs like that. So Metaverse is not just about the end of distance, but it's more like spacing, spatial web that Apple has been emphasizing. So we'll be seeing more spatial approach within those ecosystems itself. So as you can see, AI has been back after quite some time with a lot of great use cases. And it will go further within our social life and our personal life as well, just like Alexa did within our home. Made our home very smart. It's going to be more ubiquitous. And with AI, then we can see more automation, automated process in terms of getting your values out, like your crypto, your wallet, your NFTs, and anything that you can have as a trading value that can be automated through AI. So they will be working together, a lot of things. That's why I call it great convergence. So next couple of years and beyond, we'll see the physical world morphing into more of a cross reality between, now you can choose your own path. Yeah, you'll be physically here eating food, living at home, accessing to your computers or your mobile device. But your more valuable activities will be taken elsewhere, like the virtual space that we've been seeing. And a lot of technological tools will be out there. AIs will be there, glasses will be there. Your mobile phone will only get better. And a lot of IoT devices that's within your boundary, within your home, within your room, within your neighborhood, will be all culminating together to work. So at the end of the more advancement, then we'll see the human-computer interaction. We will be working with computing powers. We'll be working with AI just like as our collaborator or partner. And regardless of Metaverse, it doesn't really limit itself to Metaverse, but our social life as a whole. So that's where we'll be seeing more opportunities ever growing, especially for the younger generations. So within early this year, so Gartner knew that Metaverse would take a long time because it has to go through a phase of different technological development, like spatial computing or edge computing, like blockchains, decentralized platform, digital human that gamers love to use. And then we'll get there. So as you can see, it's on the edge of the circle. That's how tough the Metaverse platform building is. So in the future, well, it's a far 20 years away, but you guys will all be alive by that time. So we'll see how the layers of future will be, but it will be fun. Hopefully it will be fun. And hopefully we can have more control over our own destiny, including our privacy, our data, and how we interact with each other, instead of being under surveillance. So I would say Metaverse in summary is a cross-reality platform. So it will be led by Gen Zers and Gen Alphas, and millennials as well, because they have more purchasing power. And then unique monetization model will be established, just like YouTubers did. And they will make a way to figure it out. And that's what we are expecting. We don't know perfect business model yet. We are building one, but like selling land, NFTs will not be the only one. So we are expecting creators to come up with a more creative, amazing business models that they can build upon for themselves. Then we can see the real value and real true coming of creator economy that you guys will be all be open to. And I can't really wait to see all of you guys building your own stuff, showcasing your talent. So user privacy, we are trying our best to deliver that. And personally, within my background in my cybersecurity, I spent about 8 years. I know how tough this is, but I know how serious this can be. And then, so in order to deliver user privacy, we have to be corporate, transparent company, open everything, and decentralize, and make sure they have to have a control. And then, we'll be see the true self-sovereign of data ownership. So we would love to have creators controlling their data while we are providing service in terms of business operation. So I'm wrapping up with the last words. So as you can see, Einstein said, it's all about the imagination. We go beyond knowledge. We know so many things nowadays. You can just access your social media and you can see what's going on around the world within like 5 to 10 minutes. But imagining different societies, different platforms, different buildings will be totally different areas of what we can do. So even Einstein recognized it long time ago. So, and just imagining more creative future by the younger generations like you guys. So if you want to talk more about Web3 gaming and Metaverse, we are having a great night event, late night event tomorrow. So just come by, come and talk to me. And I've been consulting a lot about project and government guys as well. So anything regarding Web3 or Metaverse, I've been the OG since 2013. So I can always talk about these great things. So please feel free to contact me. And yeah, so thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. So have a great day, guys.
Thank you, Jin Jung, for your sharing today. Thank you so much.